On tonight's episode of Mafs, we saw the final dinner party. But before we get into it, if you loved my reviews, hit that follow button and let's do this every night together. So Punchy Paul wakes up crying like a little baby. Shut up, Punchy Paul. I've had enough of you. Meanwhile, Jackie was also crying. Ryan hugged her saying, "You look so beautiful." She said, "I know. It just makes me sad that this will be our last dinner." Ryan was trying to make this sentimental speech. He was like, "Jackie, you've taught me so much. We've cooked together. We've cooked pasta." Jackie was obnoxiously blowing her nose through the entire thing. She was like, it was comedic gold. But the subject on everyone's lips was Punchy Paul and his poor decisions. Jeff and Ree arrived first, followed by Jamie and Dave. Jamie disclosed that she did go on the date, but she got stood up. Everyone thought that was pretty funny. Athena and Adrian arrived next. Adrian was carrying on. He said, "Oh, now I'm the bad guy. I always take accountability and I am good at the accountability, but I have not done anything wrong." Don't think he understands the meaning of accountability, but okay. The energy between them was tense. Athena started crying. Adrian started yelling. Whatever. Jackie and Ryan entered looking smitten. Jackie said, "There is nothing that could come between Ryan and I. We'll be at each other's graves." TJ and Beth entered next, and again, Beth just looked so upset. Jamie said, "He's wronged you and he's using you as a human shield. You should be entering alone, making a statement." Karina made her solo entrance. Everyone was shocked. Karina said, "Paul messaged 3 times over the weekend, but no call. I'm putting on a happy face, but I'm devastated." The girls whisked her away for a chat. They said, "Did Paul explain why he went on the date?" Karina said, "He was curious and he said it would be funny." Beth was disgusted. Punchy Paul was on his way to the dinner party wearing a turtleneck that resembled a mix between Steve Jobs and Geordie Shore. He said, "I can only apologize so much, but eventually she needs to be receptive." When he arrived, Athena said, "Are you dressed for a funeral, Paul? Your funeral, maybe?" Punchy Paul asked for a chat with Karina, but then dinner was served. Karina said, "I don't want to sit next to him. I just want to pick up my plate and sit next to Ree and Jeff." TJ was like, "So, what's going on, Paul?" Paul said, "We all got the same task and I was just being stupidly curious, and it was when I got there that I thought, ooh, what am I doing? Am I maybe doing something wrong? What am I even doing here? You know?" Beth said, "You've got the most amazing wife. If I was Karina, I'd be livid." Paul said, "I was isolated in that room and I just had donkey brain." Dave was like, "Yeah, but how could you not think about Karina?" Paul said, "It feels like all of the good things that I've done have just been forgotten." What good things, Paul? Sorry, remind me? Jeff was like, "Okay, well, how was the date?" Paul said, "I was actually talking about Karina the whole time. It was just so awkward, and it was just awkward when I got back, and I was trying to tell Karina, like, all I want is this, but she was just so upset that she couldn't hear anything I was saying." Jeff made an excellent point. He said, "If you're so happy in your relationship, you wouldn't have gone on the date." Paul starts blabbering on about some nonsense, and finally Beth speaks up. She's like, "Can Karina speak? How do you feel, babe?" Karina said, "I didn't see this coming. Paul didn't think about my feelings. He's disrespected me. He's disrespected my family. And if he can do this so easily in the experiment, what's going to happen when we're in the real world and he's getting all this attention?" Paul said, first of all, I took it as a task, and if we were in the real world, I don't have it in me to act like this. I've never cheated in my life. I don't even have it in my character to go out of my way to talk to another woman. That would never happen. Jeff said, yeah, but if a girl approaches you in a bar, you're not going out of your way to organize that either. Paul said, I thought that Karina would be more receptive. She's just in this funny, weird headspace and she's questioning my sincerity. The expert said, perhaps Karina has reached her tipping point. Ree said, what's disappointing is that I don't see how you guys can come back from this. And then Paul said, blah, 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 in his French accent. Shut up, Paul. I hate how this man talks in circles and he thinks that if he can just confuse the listener enough, he'll be able to bury the problem with his words. Karina said, all I can hear is words. Paul just justifying himself. He's like a broken record. Amen, Karina. Finally, she said, anyone would die to be with me. I'm a catch. We love to see it. Punchy Paul then pulled Jackie and started with the crocodile tears. I'm bored. Jackie and Ryan were all over each other. Jamie said, oh, someone's getting lucky tonight. Depends. Does Ryan have a gym sesh scheduled or what? Jeff said, so you both went on the date then? Jackie said, Ryan is one of the most attractive men I've ever seen in my life. Could I see him as a life partner? Absolutely. I love it when Jackie lies. It's too good. The mere sight of Jackie and Ryan made Athena miserable. She said, it's a shitty feeling seeing Jackie and Ryan so strong while Adrian and I are crumbling. Adrian then started talking about his date. He was like, oh, so me and the date were really compatible because we both have businesses. So I have a business and she has a business. So we both have one, which means we are compatible. And with Athena, I mean, we could definitely do long distance, but would I pack a bag and move to her? No. Athena was like, what the fuck? Long distance just feels unattainable right now. Adrian said, oh, you pressure me. You say, if I don't move, it won't work. But would I move for the right person? Yeah. Athena said, okay, so I'm not the right person. Just say it. Adrian said, yeah, but would you move to Sydney, Athena? Athena said, absolutely fucking not. Do you even see any point in going to final vows? Adrian said, that's a big fat no. Athena burst into tears. She was like, I feel like I've given up so much to be here and it's all just for nothing. Adrian goes, go. Athena ran off crying. Will they go to final vows? I don't know. But if you love my reviews, hit that follow button and I'll be here. Same place, same time. Sunday night.